In this video, Year 11, we are going to be creating the leather straps for this component down here. But first, what I need to do is I'm going to isolate this bit with the /, go into edit mode, and I just need to make this bit a little bit thinner. It's actually too thick at the moment. Now, the easy way to do this is to select all these faces here. You can select them manually if you're not sure how I just did that. It was Alt and then click on one of them. Don't click in the middle or near the top, or it will kind of select up and down. You just want to click that, it'll select all the way around. And then Control or hit S to scale, except we don't want to scale like that, so we want to hit Shift Z. That'll lock the scaling to the S and then Shift Z. That'll lock it to the X and the Y axis and exclude it from the Z axis. So Shift and then an axis will exclude that axis, and I can scale it inwards. If I just scale it along the X axis, it's going to do this. It's going to get really thin, but still look like that. That's not what we want. We just want it to be a little bit thinner than it was. Now I can go back and I can add in a mesh. I'm going to add in a plane. Now the way I'm going to do this is going to look like what is happening, and then it will kind of make sense afterwards. So I'm going to add in a plane. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, and then I'm going to add a modifier called a screw modifier. I'm going to change the axis of the screw modifier to be Y. And then I'm going to play with some of these things here. I'm going to change the screw just to go up a little bit, just so I can see what's happening. I'll fix that up in a minute. Now I can go back into edit mode for this object. You'll see if I isolate this, / to isolate that. If I go into edit mode, I have the plane there. I can actually scale this plane down. I can scale it quite small. And I can move the plane along one of the axes. If I move it along, looks like the Y axis. Depends which way you did it. You don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like that. Okay, so wherever this kind of square is, move it along that axis. And then I'm going to scale it along the same axis. So I kind of get this thin strap looking thing. Now I'll bring back the other object. Obviously that's way too big, and I can start to kind of move that in so that it looks like it's going around that handle there. Okay, it is a little bit thick, so I might scale the thickness of that strap in and then move it a little bit more. We want it to overlap it, but not quite, not quite intersect it. Might scale it a little bit thicker. So now I can I'm going to play around with some of these steps over here. I'm going to turn the steps down to about 8, and I'm actually going to move this object down. So I'm going to hit G and Z, move it down so that it intersects with that bottom part, and then turn the screw part of it here. I'll do rotation so it goes all the way up into the blade there. Easy. Now I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm actually going to change the screw for this part down quite low, like that. And I will also change the scale of it. So I'm going to just hit S and scale it in slightly so that it sits underneath those other ones, like that there. And then I'll just turn the iterations up quite a bit, all the way up, like that. Okay, so then what I've got is a cool looking leather strap that if I hide one of them, that doesn't look that great. If I hide the other one, oops, that's the blade. That doesn't look that fantastic. That looks better than the other one. But both together, they actually look pretty cool. It looks like it's kind of multiple straps wound together, and that looks pretty decent. So there we've got our sword done. And next video, we're going to look at applying some textures to it.